Alright, welcome back to Blue Exorcist Anime Review, episode number 28. And no, there's no new chapter of the manga released. It's a monthly manga. So, news episode 51, which is the second episode of Season 2, End of the Snow Saga, Distress. Now, this is quite interesting, basically, what they adapted here, because it is something that's tended to be very big controversial. And some might think basically that they should adapt this, but they did. This episode covers pages 33-35, chapter 69, which is skipped over. Now, these three chapters, 69, 70, 71, these were stuff that was skipped from the last episode. And they put in this episode all in better chronological order. 70, it's 1 through 4 and 35. 71, it's 1 through 5, 11 through 14. And chapters 72 and 73. Mostly put, the first... I'd say there are two different stories here with this one. First one focus on Yuki, the other focus on Shiro. Let's focus on Yuki first because this is the stuff cut from the previous episode. So here's what happens. Yuki decides to go to an abandoned building in the dark district of whatever city is, the Exorcist Academy is, and he cleans the place out, like get whatever creature there, and then he proceeds to summon 5 creatures made of water, where they attempt to drown him. And he says the reason why it is because of his eyes. Like, activating some power. And apparently only, happened a couple times. One basically fighting the Earth King. The other fighting Lucifer. Well, actually, Lucifer basically impressed of him. And he tries drowning. Doesn't work. And then he proceeds to jump off the frickin' building, try to commit suicide. Looks like anyways, and he just basically gets scared, and just, well, then after whatever was going, and then we come back to him, where he apparently creates a crater covered in blue fire, like the same color as his brother's flame, and then he proceeds to, okay, what else can I do with his power? He then proceeds to pick up his gun and him to shoot himself in the head. He's about to pull the trigger, and then he gets a phone call from Mephisto because basically someone's missing. We'll get back to that. Yeah. That's your basically Yuki bit the entire episode. All of that was cut from the last episode. Probably due to time. And so, in the case of... Well, they did make one small change here. And that being Shimi. Where, I should point out though, in... the anime, she's in her school uniform talking to her mom. Basically, same dialogue about her future. She will become an exorcist. And in the anime, she's wearing a school uniform. In the manga, she's wearing a kimono. And she's sitting on the floor near her mom. In the anime, she's sitting on the stairs. I thought that was kind of an interesting change to that. Probably going to make more sense to that. So, everyone else is like, okay, so we don't have cram school, so... let's go off for this eating place to do some studying for the upcoming exam. And they go to the place. Bonnet is late because basically it's due work for light. Yeah, this is stuff basically now. At this point, all the stuff that was from 69 and 70, that was all cut in 71. That was all cut from the previous episode. This is basically what happens. That's what was happening during the events of the previous episode. This is what happens next. So, Bonnet is still Light's apprentice. So proceeds to clean for him, act like his manager, and then finally joins him for studying. And then of course, Ren and I think it's Ren and Shimi get called to do a mission. They say it's been a while, and their job is to excise this pretty much condemned house of these small creatures with holy water. It was thing a little, so they spray about for a while, and they chat, and then we have this more creature in this other room, and they step on this floorboard, and then the floor collapses, and they fall down what appears to be about 10 feet maybe, and Ren has got a board in his leg. Shimi is fine aside from a small bruise back of her head, but... yeah, she's fine. Of course, they wait there for a while, and then eventually they get out by setting the place on fire. And, the fact that, well, Rin tries to take responsibility for it, and of course, while they're down there, Rin admits to Shimmy that he likes her, and, well, this is probably the first time he's ever told her that, given the fact, in terms of the anime, they probably known each other for about a year. It's not like basically he just fell madly in love with her. Like, I would say this has been hinted ever since they ever since he first debuted, but it's not like he first met, he just tells her his feelings for her as soon as they first meet. No, we wait to season 4 to do this, which I think this is perfectly fine. It's a good advance for the characters. Yeah, anyone can tell he's deeply in love with Shimi, and, like, it's not like that's a driving force for his character. He's in love with this one girl. Because some things nowadays basically a driving force of one character. They're in love with this one person, and that's the only thing they know about them. And my response to that is, like, okay, like, I have no problem with a romance plot in the series. As long as it's not the primary thing. You have other stuff going on. It can't be the only thing. Because you have that, it makes things boring. I mean, I don't think romance is boring. It's basically, if that's the only thing there, if that's the only thing driving the story, at least that's the only thing is a romance, okay, you gotta have more stuff going on there, because that's what, like, if you don't have more stuff going on, I feel as though, from my personal view, that it doesn't seem interesting to me. I have, like I said, no problem with romance. But if it's the only thing here, I'm walking away. Because if it's, like I said, if it's just romance, and it's the main plot point, if you also go along with it, it's perfectly fine. Like maybe there's some conflict, whatever. So, she proceeds to stitch up his leg, which I mentioned the second time basically has happened. And then Ring gets a phone call, going to Vesto's office, said, oh yeah, by the way, there's a brief scene with Light and Shira, where they chat for a bit in the hallways, and being there, like, oh, special reason. And so, and that's a brief scene the whole episode. And then by the end of the episode, oh, she has gone missing. How the heck she went missing? Well, basically, it's like, it was here? Nope. Fine, you're going to your hometown. Figure out what the heck is going on. And that's the end of the episode. And in case you're curious, that's how the chapter ended too. So don't blame basically the studio for this. It's not their fault for that ending. Because the ending itself seems complete random at best, but that's what they chose to end on here. So it was their choice. Fine, whatever. But it's like, okay, so with this character got missing, okay, interesting. But kind of the way they present it, it's like, oh, they ask him, and then of course mention missing, and of course you can basically take the X-Wire stuff, and they're gonna go look for her. Interesting looking for a woman who. Here's the weird thing about her. It's been implied for some time in the series that she has a thing for Yuki. You think that's interesting? Yes, and this is the arc that basically deals with her familiar. Because this has been a recurring thing with this character since she first showed up in the series. There's also a thing with there's a curse on her where she has to marry by the age of 30 or she'll die. Which is a common gag for some people in real life. Basically, if they're had life expectancy by the age of 30. I mean, I'm 36. Okay, I'm perfectly. Well, I'm not going into that right now, but if I say I don't have a girlfriend, so some might say, you looking for one? Yes. Yes, I am. As long as they follow the 3 things, basically, that I hope they are. They're beautiful, they're single, and they're close to my age. Because, I do think women in basically early 40s do. I think they're fine, but not interested in that. I prefer women close to my age. Not the same exact age per se, but close to it. But that's my preference. Okay, I'm sure people have their preferences anyways, but you might think, oh, it's very generic. Kind of is, but that's how I am. The whole thing of the whole having a single because I didn't want to be accused basically causing someone to cheat on their significant other. I did not want to be the cause of breaking up a relationship. I did not want that at all. I just want to be single. I had to be single. That's how I see things. Okay, so yeah, just what type of girl basically like I like. Just that's my preference. I'm not saying. So yeah, this particular view, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do the dislike button. Well, I'll probably have 2 more videos coming later on tonight after my stream, and that probably it for the evening. Now, as for Strong Inmates, that will definitely happen tomorrow. Yes, because I only have just Israel Return goes on Twitch. I don't think I did that tonight. I'll probably get that tomorrow. Okay? But do the next video. Later. Bye.